The hyena that could not laugh. They say the hyena's laughter is a curse and a blessing. A sound so wicked it chills the bones, but also one that speaks of joy and madness twisted together. But what if a hyena could not laugh? What if its mouth remained locked, its throat choked by silence? This is the story of Kadogo, the hyena who lost his laugh. In the vast savannas of the Maara Plains, where golden grasses swayed like ocean waves, lived Kadogo. His fur was a patchwork of scars and dirt, but his eyes gleamed with a fire that refused to be extinguished. Kadogo was the smallest of his pack, a runt who was never expected to survive. But survive he did, with a tenacity that even the fiercest lions would envy. He had only one true gift, one talent that made him special: his laughter. His laugh was different, high-pitched but melodious. It echoed through the plains, reaching every creature's ears, from the waddling warthogs to the towering elephants. It was not the terrifying cackle of other hyenas but something sweeter, filled with warmth and childlike joy. The other hyenas mocked him for it, calling him Kadogo the clown. But the truth was, they needed his laugh. It brought cheer to the harshness of the wild. But that was before the drought. The sun burned with a merciless heat, shriveling the land into cracked soil and dust. Waterholes dried up, prey vanished, and desperation clawed at every creature's belly. Kadogo's pack grew vicious, their laughter turning into something cruel and hollow. Kadogo, however, found that his laugh had dried up with the water. It was as if the sun had baked the joy right out of him. The pack's leader, Shenzi, had no patience for weakness. "What use is a hyena that cannot laugh?" she sneered. "You are nothing, Kadogo. Just a mouth to feed." Her words cut deeper than thorns. Kadogo knew that laughter was his only strength. Without it, he was worthless. So, one moonless night, Kadogo left the pack. His paws padded softly over the dry earth, his ears twitching at every sound. He was on a journey to find his laugh, to rediscover the joy that had once made him special. Kadogo wandered far from the Maara Plains, his fur growing mangy and his ribs pressing against his skin. Along the way, he met creatures who shared his suffering. He met Kiboko, the old hippo who had lost his entire family to the drought. The big beast sat alone by a cracked riverbed, staring at the ghost of water. Kadogo tried to cheer him up, but even his old jokes fell flat. "What's the point of laughing when everything good is gone?" Kiboko asked, his voice thick with grief. Kadogo's heart ached, but he pressed on. He found Zuberi, the zebra who limped from a hunter's trap. The stallion had lost his herd and was now a creature of solitude. Kadogo tried to make him smile, but Zuberi's eyes were clouded with bitterness. "Laughter is for those who have hope," Zuberi muttered before limping away. Kadogo realized his own hopelessness was like a shadow following him wherever he went. Exhausted and starved, Kadogo's paws bled as he trudged on. His fur was matted with dirt, his legs trembling. But something kept him moving, a stubbornness that even he couldn't explain. One night, as he lay beneath a lone baobab tree, Kadogo heard something he hadn't heard in so long: laughter. It came from a pack of wild dogs celebrating a hunt. Their voices were joyous, their bellies full. Kadogo watched them from the shadows, his eyes glistening with longing. How could they find joy in a world so broken? His desperation overwhelmed him, and he stepped forward, his voice a croak. "Teach me how to laugh again." The wild dogs stared at him, puzzled by the ragged creature before them. But one of them, a playful female named Mwetsi, took pity on him. "Laughter is not taught," Mwetsi said softly. "It is felt. It is lived. Maybe you've been searching for it in all the wrong places." Kadogo spent days with the wild dogs, learning not to laugh but to live. They hunted together, played together, and for the first time, Kadogo realized laughter was not something to be found. It was something to be created. And one night, as they sat beneath the stars, a joke slipped from Kadogo's mouth. It was clumsy and ridiculous, but it was his. And then came the sound. It burst from his throat, a peal of laughter so pure and wild it startled even him. The wild dogs howled with joy, and for the first time, Kadogo laughed until his sides hurt. Kadogo returned to the Maara Plains with his laughter restored. But this time, it was not just a gift. It was a weapon, a shield, and a healing force. The other hyenas mocked him still, but their words bounced off him like raindrops. Shenzi watched him with narrowed eyes. Still laughing, Kadogo? Even now? Especially now, Kadogo replied, his voice filled with strength. Because I have learned that laughter is not the absence of pain. It is the courage to rise above it. Kadogo's story spread throughout the plains, a tale of hope and resilience. And from that day on, whenever someone heard a hyena's laugh echoing across the savannah, they knew it was not madness or hunger but a reminder that joy can be found even in the darkest of times. If you enjoyed this story, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Would you like to hear more tales from the Maara Plains? Don't forget to subscribe and share this story with someone who could use a little laughter today.